The future depends on what you do today. These inspiring words were said by Mahatma Gandhi. 𝗘𝗽𝗶𝗀𝗵, you're watching Curious About Careers, and I'm your host, 𝗘𝗽𝗶𝗫𝗫. Healthy development and enhancing children's lives has a long-term benefit on the country's economy, health, education, social and moral values. Early childhood care and development can be defined as the holistic development of children's physical, emotional, social, language and cognitive development from conception to age 5. The role of ECCDs is to nurture children's physical and emotional behaviors and prepare them for schooling with the right attitudes and habits. Today, my guest is the Center Directress of Happy Feet ECCD. Thank you for coming on the show, 𝗘𝗽𝗿𝗶𝗀𝗵, and please tell us a little bit more about yourself.
Thank you, 𝗂𝗏𝗏, for the introduction. So first of all, I'd like to thank BBS and especially to the team Curious About Careers for giving me this platform to share about my choice of career. So moving on, just as introduced earlier, I'm 𝗘𝗽𝗿𝗶𝗀𝗵, and I did a degree in BA English from a university in KL. Currently, I'm running ECCD in Thimphu. We have two campuses. The main campus is located below Labour Ministry, and the new campus, which we started earlier this year, is located opposite to shop number 7, 𝗪𝗴𝗡𝗏. So we take in children from as young as 1 year old, provided the child can walk independently. So we open throughout the year except for 2 weeks in January. And we provide 3 services, mainly full day, half day and extended half day. We open from 8:30 till 5 in the evening. So if you or your friends, family, anybody is looking for a suitable ECCD for their little ones, please do not hesitate to ring us, or you're most welcome for campus visit.
Well, that's great that you gave out so much information. I think it will be very helpful to all the parents who are looking for a suitable ECCD center for their kids. So first of all, let me ask you, what was your initial ambition when you were growing up?
Oh, well, I think I never really had any fixed ambition to begin with when I was growing up. But of course, when my teachers, let's say parents and elders, anybody asked about what I would like to become when I grow up, the most obvious answers then was either a doctor or engineer, because these jobs were considered high esteemed jobs then. So yes, that has been my answer when I was growing up.
How did you start a career in childcare?
It was back in 2016. I was in my final years of my college, and coming from a normal middle class family, asking money from home was often very hesitating. So then I decided maybe why not start a part-time job. Then I was, actually this really played a big role in my career. So I was quite lucky enough to be able to find a renowned Montessori school in the area I was residing. So I managed to find, they offered me a job for class director that not only paid me well, but I was equally given all the opportunities to be hands-on in the field. And similarly, I was sent for various trainings, which was, I would say, more than enough to be a qualified Montessori facilitator. So yeah, after that, ever since I got back from the, after my studies, all I wanted to do was either be in the same sector or, if possible, even run a school of my own. So that's why I'm here running a ECCD of my own.
Well, that's great to know. But then, did you receive any special training to work in this field?
Yeah, like I mentioned earlier in the earlier question, I was sent to so many. To be specific, I was sent for practical life skills, similarly language, kinetic music, and all these are actually the key components of, for Montessori. So more than anything, I was more towards a Montessori field. So these components that I mentioned earlier, these were something that Montessori class director, or if you are planning to run a school, these are the things that you are supposed to be professionally trained in. So yes, I received that many trainings when I was working in my former school.
Okay. So through your experience, can you tell us, do you think it's really important for children to be enrolled in ECCDs?
There are so many reasons as to why parents should enroll their children at ECCD before starting their formal schooling. To begin with, the 90% of the brain development occurs in this first 5 years. This is like considered the crucial stage where most of the learnings take place. Apart from so many other benefits, one key component that I like to mention here is the socializing skills, which many of our children this generation lack. So suppose homeschooling in this generation is very easy. Majority of our parents are educators, so teaching them letters and numbers and nursery rhymes should not be an issue at all. But what is different if you enroll your child to ECCD is they learn social skills. So when I say social skills, there are so many things that comes under there: the interaction, listening skills, caring, loving, and also empathetic nature, you see. And most importantly, again, being independent is what is taught in ECCDs. In addition to that, I think most children who are kept at home, they're screen addicted, they hardly go out and have any physical play or interaction with their peers. So that is one factor I feel is really concerning at the moment, because many children who come to us for enrollment, they mostly have speech delay problems. So these factors really play a vital role when they actually start their formal schooling. So I feel like it is very much important if you enroll your child in ECCD before they start formal schooling.
So yes, definitely we can see the difference. As we were growing up, we had a lot of friends, we used a lot of imagination while we were playing, but nowadays children are mostly alone. It's very important for children to be able to adjust in a society and interact with other adults and children. So that is one of the most important aspects of what an ECCD does for a child. So I think enrolling a child in the ECCD centers will definitely help them. So Wangzom, what do you think would be the appropriate age to enroll a child in ECCDs?
Okay, personally I feel like just I mentioned in the earlier questions, 90% of the brain development happens in the first 5 years. But of course, for the appropriate age that I feel would be 3 years and above. Below 3 years children, they're very young, and some are still breastfed, so it's quite challenging, even if they are enrolled in the school and say if they're fine in your environment. But still, it's pitiful to see very young children, as young as, like at the moment, the youngest we have is 1 year, 4 months old. So I feel like it's very, it's really pitiful to see very young children coming. I feel like the most appropriate age, if I'm to say, would be 3 years and above.
Okay. So you have children in your ECCD centers ranging from 1 year plus to below 5 years old. So what are the challenges that you face?
Just like any other profession, we also have fair share of challenges in our profession. But ours, I think, I would like, not trying to be biased when I say this, I feel like it's more challenging than any other jobs, because we don't deal with finished products, or we don't have to give service to adults, mature people like us. We have to deal with these very young children. The teacher-student ratio normally is 1:10. So what happens is, in between the very careful watch, although all the activities or their play is carefully monitored and watched, but in between that, little bruises and scratches are bound to happen. So when we actually have to report these mishaps or accidents to the parents, that is when it becomes really challenging, because parents become really particular. Not everybody can really picture the real scenario in the class, right? Even for individual parent, if they have to make sure not to have any mishaps, it's quite impossible. But for a teacher, one lone teacher, to look after that many children in the class, it happens. So we have to have so many, we have to make sure to convince the parents so that they feel like they did the right choice by enrolling their kid with us, or handing over the whole world, I would say, to us. So yeah, that's basically the daily challenges that we face. apart from the other things, but these things are the usual challenges that we face.
Major challenges.
Yes.
So definitely when it comes to kids, we cannot be 100% sure that we can always guarantee their safety, because we cannot predict the next move the child will make. Okay. So being a center directress, please tell me, how does your day go about?
So the school opens at 8:30. By 8:45 I'll be there in the school. So 8:30 to 9:30 is normally the coming in time. So meet and greet takes away 1 hour. After that is the circle time, another hour. So I just monitor, walk in the classes and see if there is any need for me to step in and then, help the respective class teachers. So usually when we have the newcomers coming in, they tend to have, those anxious nature. They get overwhelmed in the new environment. So what I normally tend to do is I ask them to come out and give them free play or engage them in some fun art and craft works. So that's basically what I do. And after that is the snack time. If there is a need, I help. Otherwise, mostly I'll be in the office. Then after that, another hour goes by for activity session. Then comes a lunch break. So after that, we get the half-day children ready to send home. So they wash up, brush their teeth. Then the full day will proceed for the afternoon nap. Then, so time just goes on like that. So that's basically the routine I have.
Well, it looks like you have a very well-planned and balanced schedule. So tell me, what do you enjoy most about your work?
Okay, if you ask me that, literally I think every bit of it I enjoy. To begin with, when I walk in the school, there are these little faces glaring at you, all full of smiles. Of course, some are crying, looking for your attention. For them, we are like their whole world. They always seek comfort in you. Whatever emotions that comes from them is very genuine. Unlike adults, it's not manipulative at all. So these things really mean a lot for me. And some children will be adoring your outfit. It's very cute to see these little emotions coming from them. And also, like I said, the youngest we have is 1 year, 4 months old. So they literally have nothing learned from home. So whatever letters or numbers say good values that we pass to them, they take that home and they feel contented after that. So it's rewarding, very much rewarding at the end of the day. Also at the end of the year, we have this eldest group graduating from our school. They're all ready to start their next phase of education life, so it's very much satisfactory.
So I think it's really rewarding to work with children because of their innocence and sincerity in their emotions. So, Wangzom, I'm sure that initially you must have faced some problems when you started off your career in childcare. So, how did you handle it?
I really cannot remember any remarkable mistakes that I might have done in my early years in the career. But the thing that I'm going to mention now, this thing is still in me. I haven't really been able to rectify that. That is, giving in very easily. So the rule actually is supposed to be like, if somebody doesn't behave or hits their friend, or it's rough while playing, we're supposed to give them time out, or refuse them to give a sticker, which I really cannot do, because I feel like who would like to be sent for a timeout or say refuse to be given a sticker. So I just want them to be happy and go home and look forward to come to school the next day. So I feel like I really need to work on this, and with time I really hope to rectify this nature of mine, because what happens is, if you can, it is always very wise and only legit if you can teach young children the reality of life. Everything doesn't come easily, you have to work for it and all that. If you can introduce at young age, I think it is very beneficial when they start formal schooling.
Yes, it's always better to practice something in a safe place and then for them to get used to it. And I think it will be easier for them to adjust when they face it in reality. So definitely that's a very important point that you pointed out. So there might have been some influential people in your life. Someone who's inspired you, maybe personally or professionally?
Yes, definitely. Apart from my parents, friends, and my husband, I think I feel like there's there's this person, she currently runs a radio school in Singapore. She was my former employer, so she has played a vital role in my choice of career, I would say. She's like the inspiration I look up to. So I'm always in touch with her, and she motivates me, and she always tells me that this is like the part and parcel of life, you know. The whole world has their own challenges. Come on, you can do it. And, you know, in a way, she really inspires me to work hard and move further in my career. So yes, her name is 𝗖𝗂𝗿𝗶. Before I forget to mention her name.
Definitely, we cannot undermine the role of a good mentor in our careers. Talking about your work, what do you think are the most important qualities that someone in the childcare sector should have?
Okay, unlike other profession, qualification is the secondary, I would say, because what is more important here is if you are really dedicated, if you're really passionate about, you know, getting into this field, if you're loving, your nature should be loving and caring, you know. So I feel like so long you have these many qualities in you, you're good to go, you're a good facilitator, I would say. Of course, because many ECCDs here, private ECCDs specifically, they tend to give in-house training, so which in a way subsidizes your qualification, I would say. So if you have the above mentioned qualities in you, then you're good to go.
So definitely having a passion for the career that you're in is the most important part. And Wangzom, please tell us about your future plans.
So actually I haven't really thought of future plans. It's just been a few years since I actually started running my own school. So I like to give some time and, you know, focus on what is in front of me for now. Already I have 2 campuses to take care of. But given a chance, if financially, if it favors or if it really runs well, I would like to start a primary wing. So that is like the future plan, far future plan, I'd say.
So definitely, I think that's the way forward for you. So it's great to know that you have those plans, and I wish you all the best for that.
Thank you, La.
And finally, coming to the last question, there might be a lot of young people who might be interested in pursuing a career in childcare. So what would you like to say to them?
I don't think I'm really in this position to be giving any advice, but if I'm to share a few things based on my experience, then maybe you'd like to look upon if you have the above mentioned qualities in you, because you know, getting in this career, early childcare sector is can be pretty much challenging and hectic, you know. So in addition to the qualities that I mentioned earlier, one thing that you need to see is if you are the person who gets easily disgusted with children puking or, you know, somebody shitting in their pants, I don't think the job will be suitable for you, because every day these challenges you'll have to face, so you have to be ever ready to go. So yeah, so long you have that many qualities in you, you're good to go and start a beautiful career, I would say, in early childcare sector.
Well, that was some honest experience that you shared with us, and I think it's important for people to be honest, because we should know about all aspects of a career before joining it. So thank you once again for taking out the time to be on our show.
Thank you, La, for having me here and share my choice of career.
And to all the viewers who want to pursue a career in childcare, you can contact Dorji Wangzom through her Facebook page, 𝗵𝗵𝗶𝗂𝗏 ECCD. Thank you for watching.